Well, here we are. Uh, I like this is gonna be a weird review because we're just sort of gonna go back and forth. But I think what we should do is maybe we'll just talk in general, then we'll talk about the movie before spoilers, and then we'll just go after it. I think
Yeah.
the best way to go after it. But we're gonna be talking about the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now I have to say real quick because I saw this with the whole family, right? Two of which fell asleep during the movie, but we'll get there. Uh, my daughter, who God love her, sounds like she's going to be taking after me when it comes to being very critical of everything. The first thing she said is, "What is with the title of this movie? The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes." She's like, that's the weirdest sounding title I've ever heard.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that for years. They've been
Well,
doing that since the
but
second movie.
But why didn't they just name it like Planet of the Apes, Kingdom of the Apes, or Kingdom of the Apes, Planet of the Apes movie, or something like that? Like that's like wouldn't that have been better?
Because it's tradition. They
Is it
started with Beneath the Planet of the Apes, then Escape from the Planet of the Apes, then Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, then Battle for the Planet of the Apes, and then they had the TV
Kingdom
show,
of
and those were
the
divided into
Planet of the Apes?
movies.
Is that why? Okay, okay. Well, I
So
guess
it's
as
a
long as it's in
tradition.
keeping with the tradition, then fine. It's just like it just sounds weird. So I didn't know about the whole tradition thing, but fine. That works for me. I just because it did bother me. It was funny hearing her be like, heck, what's with the grammar? I'm like, whatever. Grammar doesn't matter.
I never even thought of that myself. So that's pretty
Kingdom
funny.
of the Planet of the Apes. And it's like, okay, whatever. Just like I don't know. But tradition's as good an answer as any, right? So,
Yeah.
but but we were just talking about it before I hit record. Like I went into this before we talk. Like we're gonna try and not do spoilers and we'll let everybody know when we're gonna do spoilers. But so I went into this thinking that this was going to be a remake of the original. So we were gonna, or at least a close facsimile too. So like we were gonna have the apes like having their kingdom, and you're gonna have the human slaves, and then you're gonna have an outsider somewhere come in. Whether it was gonna be the spaceship thing or not, I didn't know, but like have an outsider come in who is not like all the humans that have been enslaved and cause problems within the ape civilization, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what I thought it was going to be. That's what I hoped it was going to. Well, I don't know about hoped, but that's what I thought it was going to be. And for me, anyways, I wish that's sort of what they did. But what do you think? Like,
Yeah, that was when War of the Planet of the Apes came out in 2017, and they showed them settling in a very familiar place. It looked like Ape City from the original film. I was like, okay, maybe they're going to do something like that with the new film. I mean, they left it open, and they did say they were going to do a sequel years ago,
oh yeah,
but we didn't know when it would ever be. So the sequel finally came, and I was expecting Planet of the Apes. I was expecting they set up in War for the Planet of the Apes. They set up the mutated virus. So the simian flu killed a bunch of people at the end of Rise. James Franco's company. And then people survived. There were some people that survived. That's where Dawn comes in. Then there was a war. And then we find out through this girl and her doll, which is another Easter egg from the original movie, that there's this mutated virus, the mutated version of the virus that causes people to become mute and dumb. Basically, they no longer have their faculties. They're just in survival mode. They're basically just like the people, the humans in the original movie.
So in other words, the human race is screwed. It either kills you or just messes you up bad.
Yeah, and that's why there were no humans when Charlton Heston like that. We didn't know why that was the case in the original film. It was an unknown, but they came up with a really good. I thought in War for the Planet of the Apes, they came up with a really good explanation that kind of leads into the.
I will say the first three of these were really good. This was the Caesar arc. Is that what everybody's calling it?
I was rewatching them. I was rewatching them. I'm like, well, this is like Dawn when he says, "Come see your brother," and they have that beautiful moment where where Caesar's son meets the younger brother and all that. There was a lot of beautiful moments in these movies, and I was so invested in Caesar, like Andy Serkis.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was hoping there was going to be a descendant of Caesar somewhere in this, but
Yeah, because he had a son, Cornelius. He's the little chimp in War.
I thought we were gonna, yeah, I thought we were gonna have something, but well, we'll get there. But
Yeah,
so yeah, so I think we sort of had the same expectation going into it that it was going to be some sort of variant of
yeah,
the original Planet of the Apes. Now that's not just, I don't think this is a spoiler. That's definitely not what this is.
no, not
Not
at
even
all.
close. And I wish I came out after watching the movie wishing that that's what they did, even though I didn't want that to begin with. It was one of those, I was afraid that we were doing the well. I don't know what I know what I expected. I know what we got, and afterwards I was basically left going, well, they should have just redid the original, and maybe changed a few things. Um,
Yeah, I feel. I mean, I'm with you on that. I think what they should did, and to make it different from the original film. So the original film was entirely from Charlton Heston's point of view.
Mhm.
They would do this film from Caesar's descendants' point of view. I initially thought this was going to be Caesar's son grown up.
No,
Like
I
I
thought
thought this
no,
was going to be a generation later.
I thought Noah was going to be a descendant of Caesar.
Yeah, so I mean,
Almost
they
the
didn't.
whole movie that I was sort of like, when's it going to come out that he's Caesar's long descendant, right? I
Yeah,
was just waiting for it to happen the whole movie. Um, but yeah, so real quick, so the good thing, the good thing. So visually, the movie is stunning. Like, and I think, how to put this without sounding just I think how visually good it looks is going to soften a lot of the critical problems with the movie for a lot of people. People are going to be like, well, it looked great, and they're going to ignore a lot of the problems because it looked great. Um,
yeah. I think. I mean, that's definitely a thing. I mean, it was. I think that I agree with that assessment right there. I liked the look. I really did enjoy the segment where they were climbing. There was the coming of age thing for them,
yeah,
because they're the bird, because they're dealing with
yeah,
birds and hawks and all that. They have to go climb the mountains in order to get an egg, get like an eagle egg or a
rite
hawk
of
egg or
passage
something.
ceremony.
Rite of
Yeah.
passage, yeah, exactly. And
Well,
I enjoyed it. Like it looked like there was
so
there was there was some tension there. There was some, like, there were moments where I was like, "Oh, don't fall, don't fall," and then they showed
yeah,
it. Everything was shown, and it was beautiful.
yeah. Um, so
Oh, sorry, apologize.
visually, no, you're good. The visually, the whole thing was good. And the first, maybe half, I guess, I did see where things started going weird, but maybe the first half, when the whole portion where you're basically dealing with the Eagle Clan and like how they run their society and the Eagle thing and the rite of passage, and Noah's talking to his father, and you can see he's getting ready for his day, with his mates that he's grown up with. They're all getting ready to become, you know, uh, you know, well, grown-ups, I guess, right?
Yeah,
I was heavily invested in all of that. I thought that was all really good, and I almost wish that we just stuck there the whole movie,
yeah.
because when you start introducing the human element, I feel like that's when everything started going wonky.
So the
I don't
girl,
know if it's immediately when she shows up, but I feel like when she shows up, everything, like, we start like doing a lot of weird stuff, right? I
yeah,
mean, is
it
that
just,
fair?
yeah, it's fair. It's it was after there was the moment on the bridge that
Well, I think
I
I
started to
think
lose. I started to lose
yeah,
interest.
the bridge part is really not. It's yes, the bridge part. It will get there in a second. I don't want to. We'll start talking spoilers. We won't go too long without talking spoilers, but
Yeah,
uh, so I guess that's my assessment of the movie. And I don't think I could put. I don't like putting point totals on it, but I would say the first half is was pretty darn good. The second half lets the first, it's like they did the first half, then they decided, oh, wait a second, we have to figure out how we're going to finish this movie.
yeah,
Didn't know how. um the whole movie was very slow paced.
Yeah.
Like it was like, and it didn't bother me in the first part. Like again, when we were learning stuff and building Eagle Clan and building, I wasn't bothered by the pace being very slow. But as the movie moved on, it just continued. Even when we get some action scenes, everything feels very slow. To the point where I was joking about that my two of my kids fell asleep during the movie. Um, about just over halfway in because they just they got bored and fell asleep. My youngest just was like he's like, yeah, I fell asleep like
Easton.
Easton's fell asleep with like 30 minutes left. He's like, what happened? I'm like, don't worry about it. And Ryan was dozing off at points there too, but yeah. So what do you think that's fair? I mean, like I think
No,
the
it's
first
very fair.
just it very slow, didn't bother me so much in the first half of the movie. The second half of the movie, the pace being what it was, still it I feel like it hurt the movie a lot.
Yeah, I the first part was interesting. There was some weight to it, like like that you build you build investment in the three characters that are doing their thing. They're doing their coming of age thing, and then we meet like his parents. We meet like his father. Noah's father is like the head bird guy, the head
Yeah,
bird caller guy. I forget what they call them. They're basically like eagle callers or.
yeah, I forget, but he was like the head. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, so so in this case, like so so apes were divided after Caesar or something.
So that's the biggest. So okay. So let's sort of talk. So you're pretty much the same place I am. Slow. First half was pretty good.
Yeah,
Second half much worse than the first half. Very visually pleasing, but the plot really sort of lost it somewhere in the middle. Is that fair enough?
yeah. I mean, this is a typical hero's journey. There's a point where the place is attacked by people
Yeah.
or by apes. Sorry, not people. Place is attacked by apes, and then everybody, I believe, is
So
taken away.
right. So let's just go. So we're gonna start talking spoilers now because I think So I don't even. It's I guess if you just want to see how pretty everything is, it's worth a watch. Story wise, it's a mess in my opinion. In my opinion, and I think you're sort of with me. It sounds like yeah.
Yes, Sam.
Okay, so from here, we're gonna go straight into we're gonna spoiler it up here. Okay, and this is where it's good to talk to somebody else to try and reconcile some of the problems that well are plaguing my brain about this movie. First of all, you're right that the apes. I don't understand why the apes never got their chance to actually have a full on civilization because they're all killing each other. And it's like, isn't that contrary to what, like, Caesar's teachings were to bring everybody together, especially apes? Don't kill apes. Don't kill apes. Apes strong together.
Yes.
And in this movie, it's all shit. Like
It's like they want to. It looks like, from what I'm understanding, and maybe you can correct me, but it seemed like this Proximus guy, who is this this king of this other sect or something.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta use Roman type of names, Latin type of names, like
Yeah.
Caesar. So apparently, it seems like he wants to unify. So it's your typical, tyrant that wants to unify all the sects together and
Yeah.
everything, and that's basically what this is. I mean, you had this in
Basically, but like you get this whole bit where they're like, oh well, they've misinterpreted Caesar's
because he
teachings.
wants
It's
to bring
like,
everyone together and strong, but you're killing,
but
and you're creating ill will.
he's killing apes.
Yeah, he's
Like,
killing apes, and
so I don't understand how you misinterpret Caesar's. How do you lose Caesar's teaching? Don't kill other apes, and apes strong together. How do you lose apes don't kill other apes? I don't understand how you drop that.
it
Like
was it's like it was lost in time, according to the one. So there was this. So where the movie kind of lost me. I like the orangutan that he meets.
yes,
That
yeah.
Noah meets. It's
He's the best.
Raka.
I think he's probably the best character, maybe, but
So
he's really good.
so Raka was starting to explain things, and Noah being the dipshit that he is. He's like, I don't
Mhm.
want to hear. I don't want. I'm not. I don't care about what you have to say.
Mhm.
But Rocco was basically trying to tell him, that that Caesar's like that what this guy's doing is not with what
Right.
Caesar's teachings are, and obviously nobody's listening. He's like, I'm going to come with you anyways because I want to make sure that you find your civilization and all that, or you find your people. And then we lose him. So I was assuming so he gets washed up. He saves the girl who's the key to everything.
Oh
There's
God,
a girl who's the key to
like
everything in this.
hold on before the movie will be 10 times better if that character did not exist.
Yes.
The girl character is half the problem with the movie because they have to reconcile all the shit that they have to do for her.
Yeah.
And they didn't have like this is why I'm sort of on the part about the apes killing apes thing that's driving me crazy. So yes, you're right. What we're you have the orangutan Raka that's there trying to tell you that they've lost all this, blah blah. But I don't understand how at the point of the last movie where Caesar, everything comes together. The
Yeah.
apes are getting more and more intelligent, right? They're more
Yes.
together than ever. They have weapons. They know how to use them. They're getting smarter. They're not getting dumber. They're getting smarter. More
Yeah.
and more are beginning to learn how to talk and communicate without sign language. In this movie, they can all talk. So how do you lose all this ability to use things that you were using? And it wasn't that many it says several generations later. Like, how do you lose all of that? I don't like it's just I don't understand how you've lost the very simple premise of we have to as a species stay together to be strong and to
Yeah.
be and to betterment all apes. How have you lost that? And you have the ability to communicate.
I mean, if
It's
you're
not like they
gonna
don't have the ability to communicate. They can.
yeah, if you're gonna do something like that, if you're gonna lose, if they're gonna lose something like that, there has to be context. We have to
There
we have
has
to
to
know
be another
why.
catastrophe or something
Yeah, and
like
we
a
have to know
freaking
about it. The viewer has to know about it so we understand because
right.
you're building up. We already built up to this point.
Well,
You have to explain.
like yeah. So and then you show up at we're sort of all over, but you show up at Proximo's stronghold. Why are all these apes subservient to him? Why? What has he given them but pain and anguish?
Yeah,
Like, why are they following him? Like, he's not offering them food or like it's not like he's like got a fucking giant garden there, so he's got the food supply, or they're having trouble with water. What
or
is
they
the
have a common enemy, or if there's like there's a
or it's just a structure of government that has been in place, and he just happens to be the new Caesar that's been put in place,
yeah.
and he's a terrible and he's gone crazy or he's terrible at it or whatever. No, this is him trying to build an ape kingdom on the backs of apes, which is exactly the thing that Caesar didn't want.
Yeah.
And I get it, it's supposed to be, well, this guy didn't, this guy, is misinterpreting it. But Caesar's Caesar's teachings are pretty clear. Don't kill other apes, and apes are better together. How do
Yeah.
you misinterpret that?
It's it must have been something must have been lost in the translation. That's
I,
all I can say. But I don't think they did a good enough job
no, they
explaining
did.
that.
Well, and that's
Or
my
if they
point.
did, I missed it.
Well, and that's my point. They did a terrible job. They didn't do any job. They just said you're just supposed to believe that the orangutan's the only one that really knows the things that frickin' Caesar wanted. The only ape left, according to him. And then you have the Proximus guys who just listen to him because he's the king. And it's like, well, like we sort of need I need more than that because they can talk, they can communicate. They like how have they lost the plot that badly? How have they just miss everything that Caesar stands for completely? Uh, in a civilization that is just getting smarter by the generation.
Because the script demands it.
Right. So there's a few things. So the girl, May, I guess her name is.
Yeah.
Her whole storyline drives me fucking bonkers. Okay, First of all, why? So, first of all, why? And maybe I misunderstood, but why did she feel like she was safe with Noah and not the other, but the other, while the other apes were hunting her?
I
Right,
I don't know.
because she, you could, she's come through the tunnel, right, and you see that part where she I guess she's the Flash, so the ape can't see in the at night, I guess, but she's the Flash, and the ape can't see, so she
Like
runs from
the
there,
apes
and
are
the
quicker.
leaves rustle, and it's like, wow, she's really fucking fast, because the ape who has great night vision can't see her, but whatever, fine, you let that go. So she can't see her. They all the bad apes come in and obliterate. Well, that's, I'm getting ahead of myself. But then there's a scene where he hears her in the fish smoking hut, and she's able to run through the hut, open up other part of the hut, and get out with the fish without him seeing her again. And it's like, and then so there's lots of that. Then you come to find out that he blames himself, but eventually they would have found her. They're hunting her down, so the downfall of his whole society is her fault.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hates her, right? I'm just tell me, like, and I'm just trying to go through the front part here. So he's go he they find the thing, blah blah blah. They go. He's off trying to find his clan. He falls in the roof and meets Kaba. Is it Kaba?
A Raka.
Raka. I'm sorry, I always forget it's Raka. The Raka part's cool. They have their conversation. I dug that whole thing. That was. They did insinuate that Raka had a male mate, but whatever. Don't care. I really didn't. Like, it's like whatever, but like, who cares? So then they go on the road, which I found that whole funny. That whole funny thing. He's like, he just wants to go, and Raka's like, I have a horse. I'm coming, right? And then we're to believe that he's dropped all his hate of humans because Raka told him to. Because then next thing you know, she's in the camp eating apples with him, and he gives her mother's sweater to be warm.
I don't remember. Did he hate humans? I remember they called them. They had a weird name for them. I wasn't
Echoes.
sure.
They call
Echoes.
them echoes
I'm
because
like,
they came
why?
from. I'm pretty sure he distrusted them at the very least. They were supposed to be dangerous and stayed away from. Like, they got mad at him when they thought he went through the tunnel because of the echoes.
Oh, okay. Because I thought I was like, what are they? I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? What are these? And here's the other issue I had with the movie.
Anya kept calling
I
her
wasn't.
echo. So yeah.
One thing and maybe it's just me. But one thing I wasn't picking up what they were saying because they're talking like they're talking apes,
Yeah.
And so I wasn't able to pick up what they're saying, and then they're saying Echo. I'm like, is Echo? I couldn't tell if Echo was a person or
So
Echo was a character. Who was Echo?
So there's some of that in there, sure. Yeah, I think, and it was one of those, I couldn't tell if, like, it got confusing at a point because I couldn't tell if echo just meant any noise come, like, or if they were putting that, calling humans echoes. And the only reason I figured out that they were calling for sure that they weren't just like calling things that were making echo, like any type of being on the other side of the tunnel echoes, like, I don't know if, like, at first I just thought it meant anybody that wasn't part of their clan was an echo because, basically they would make noise coming down the tunnel and it would echo. So they were calling them echoes, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be just humans or if it was any creature or anything on that side of the tunnel. But later, Anya, when they're getting ready to do their stupid, mountain ascent, like, ugh, uh, directly calls her Echo, like says, "Hey, Echo, how you doing?" And it's like, yeah, okay, echoes are humans. So the Eagle Clan refers to humans as echoes. So I don't
Okay.
know.
Great.
But yeah, so they have the whole camp scene, which I'm like, all right, I guess fine. He's, his buddy. He wants to learn about the humans, so he's not being a dick to her. But then you get the next scene where you have the herd of humans, right? Which is fine. The humans that can't talk and
Yeah.
whatever. And then this is one of the more confusing parts of the movie for me. Okay, because then you have all the metal clan or whatever the freaking called the Proximus's group. They all start riding through there, and they start. You got these net guns and all this stuff, and they're rounding up all the humans. Like they're capturing them and this, that, and the other, and they go after the girl, and she's hiding in the long brush, and then this is the other thing that drove me. Why the fuck? Why would Noah risk his mission, which his mission is to get to Eagle Clan and get them back? Why would he risk that to save her?
That's a good question. I mean,
like why? Like he doesn't have his whole mission. Like he didn't give a crap about Rocket either. He was ready to leave him. Like until so why is he get for a human? Like
according to what I'm seeing, I guess he's not. He hasn't. I guess he's seen the brutality of them rounding up the humans that way. I guess that's something he hasn't experienced himself. So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm reading as the explanation.
Where do the humans go?
I don't know. I don't know.
Where do the humans go?
Where did they go?
Where did they go? Why did they eat? Are we supposed to think they ate them? Like did they cook them in a stew and eat them? Like where are the humans? Like you rounded up all these humans and because I think like I could be wrong.
Were there any cages in?
No, they were gone. The humans were just gone. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, please, if I missed it, please tell me. But there's no humans, and it left me feeling like it really left me feeling like parts of this movie were redone because they didn't have the balls to make the humans the slaves.
I think what they did was, I think this is going to go even further than that. I think this was an afterthought. I think they wanted. I was paying attention to them hunting and taking everyone by the nuts. It was their way of saying, hey, remember this from the original film? Remember, because they played the same music. Because I did a video on this. I know the Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack.
But you're right.
They were playing the same music. They were doing all the same. I mean, I swear some of the shots were equivalent too. So I think they added that in to make it familiar to make it familiar to new audiences or something like that. That's why I think they did. I think it was an afterthought.
I think because I agree with you. It was done that way. And then I was completely puzzled because I was expecting to come into Proximus's camp and see a bunch of human slaves being corralled up by apes.
Yeah.
But they were just gone. So it's like, oh, so we just wanted to have a scene of humans getting rounded up. And that's it. It's like, Jesus, what? Like, come on. Like, you can do better than that. Just have
I guess they kind of forgot.
I guess they kind of forgot, right? But so I don't know if I missed it. Tell me in the chat, like in the comments, because I don't know where the humans went, and it drove me freaking nuts, and I can't figure out. And it was because he felt bad for her that he was going to risk his whole family to save her.
Yeah, I mean
is completely unbelievable. For me, like the instant attachment that these two have to her, I didn't believe it.
Yeah,
it seemed completely forced.
Yeah, so there was that, and then of course, then we get the big reveal that, oh my gosh, she can talk.
What? Right? Yeah. Oh, she could. Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, how? We had the so we're there. Almost every human was afflicted by this mutation. So yeah. So I'm just like, why?
If you remember back to the third one, like Brian was just saying at the beginning of our little chat here, the human race is fucked.
Yeah.
They're either going dumb and unable to communicate, or they are dying. That is basically the two choices as human beings at this point. Like,
yeah, and there's no medicine. There's no
cure.
There's no infrastructure that can create a cure. So it seems like this movie, I don't know, there were other humans that somehow were still around, and I mean, apparently,
well, that's a whole nother problem for me. Like, when we get to the end of the movie, because the fact that there's all these freaking little outposts of humans living underground, eating, I guess, fucking protein bars. I don't I don't buy it. But so yeah, so she can talk. How? Why? Oh, just because she lives
She
with a group
chose
of
not
people that
to.
can talk.
She chose not to for her own protection. I think I don't remember
Oh, her
the
mother
reason.
taught her not to talk to blend in with the non-talkies. It's like why they're not the like what? Huh?
I mean, in the original movie, I mean, I don't know if the writers were counting on people to have seen the original movie because because of the fact that when Taylor, Charlton Heston reveals that he can talk, get your sneaking paw me, you damn dirty apes. All of a sudden, all the apes went into a panic and they decided, no, we're gonna cut your brain, bro.
Yeah,
We're gonna cut your brain, and we're gonna you better tell us where others
they
like you are.
they are scientific. They're pretty. They're curious. They're smart. They're trying to evolve even further.
But
In the original, in the
I don't,
original,
but I don't think the way that these apes were shown. I don't think these apes are at the level of scientific intellect
no, they're
that
stupid.
they are
They're
compared to the original film.
they're still dumb.
Yeah,
They're still stupid, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like this is supposed to be generations after they've gotten smarter.
yeah.
Like they've gotten smarter and now generations have passed and they have not evolved at all. Like they've built houses. Big whoop. They were doing that in the third movie. They had built civilizations for themselves up in the
And I
trees and
think
stuff.
the orangutan in the trilogy, Maurice, knew how to read, so
Yeah,
he could teach all the other apes how to read,
right. So
and
it's like
they can learn from humanity.
right. So why have they gotten stupider? Like that's another whole thing. It's like they did. So I don't know why the apes haven't got smarter over the generations. They should. There's no reason that they should have gone backwards, and that the ape civilization has gone the other direction. They have gone backwards in terms of where they left in what was it, War of the Planet of the Apes? Is that was
Yeah,
that the one?
I mean, Caesar led one hell of a life. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not his. That's not going to be forgotten. And at the end of the
No.
movie, he's like, it tells Maurice, "Tell my son everything about me.
It's
Tell
gonna all be written.
everything."
Maurice would have written it all down,
Yeah,
and
he
it
would
taught
have.
somebody exactly what you're
Yeah,
saying. That's why I'm having a problem with Proximus's whole fucking side of the story.
yeah. Like,
Because how is
is Proximus related to Caesar? Like, who is this guy? Like,
no?
where did
He's
he come
nobody.
from?
He's just a crazy. That's my whole problem. Is he related to Caesar? No, he's just like.
Because
Why are
they
all the
kept,
monkeys following him when all he does is beat them up and treat them like shit? What
yeah,
is the reason that he's in charge? Why?
yeah. You're absolutely right
And you
there.
don't give a reason. It's not even as baseline as well. He's a descendant of Caesar.
And don't they say like "Hail Caesar" throughout the movie? So
No, he calls himself Caesar. He says,
yeah,
"I'm
but
Proximus," and
like
then he calls himself Caesar.
but his men, like when they first attacked the village and everything, they said like "Hail." I think they said like "Hail Caesar" or
Well,
"Long live
yeah,
Caesar" or
no.
something like
So I
that.
think that might have been because of yeah, they refer to him as Caesar, but I think that's partially because
Kind of like
of
Romans.
his other talking companion who just happens to be there as well, talking and teaching them around all the apes.
Hmm.
William H. Macy's characters teaching him, Roman stuff and reading to him about Romans and shit. So I don't know if he was calling himself Caesar because of that, or if they're referring to him as Caesar because of Julius Caesar, or because of Caesar the ape. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think, I
Or
think,
both.
I think there's a bit of both, and of course we learned that in the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the reason why Caesar got his name was because of James Franco's
Oh
father,
yeah,
John Lithgow, was quoting because he's suffering from Alzheimer's. He's continually quoting Julius Caesar,
yeah, of
so
course, yeah, absolutely,
that's where Caesar got his name,
right.
basically.
So right, absolutely, and it's like so. I guess that's supposed to. I don't know, but then so the William H Macy character.
Dude, you know what I got from him just from watching him, and I fell asleep during those portions of the film. Here, you know who he reminded me of?
Hmm.
Reminded me of Mark Hamill as Jake Skywalker.
Oh yeah,
But at least that was the
like he's just
impression I got.
completely given up and he is like, yeah, whatever.
So remember, so like the part where so the part remember, like it seems like he was the Jake Skywalker, and what's her name, May Nova, whatever you call her, she reminded me of Rey. But imagine in the Last Jedi if Rey basically killed Luke with the lightsaber when they had their little duel, I
Dude, the
guess you could
whole
say
end
that.
of this movie is terrible.
Like she murdered him because he's like, I'm going to go tell Proximus that you guys are going to blow up the dam, or at
Yeah.
least I think they were blowing up the dam. I forgot. I fell
Well,
asleep.
so I can fill you in because the whole thing is dumb because they forget there's this aspect of the world called sea level.
Yeah,
Water cannot rise above sea level when you're dealing with the ocean.
yeah.
So her whole plan is stupid. But we'll get there. We'll get there. The whole so the William H Macy character, it's like I guess it's there to show that there's even more humans out there that can talk and that are perfectly fine, and that it's supposed to be. I guess are they saying it's his fault that Proximus is crazy like he is because he's teaching him about Roman shit and he's
I will.
fixing things? Is that why they're in power? Because he made the electric things for them, and so
I
Proximus took over with the electric weapons. It's like, but wait a second, that like what? Like that doesn't make any sense either. It's like you have to have all these people with you to force them into submission with your metal poles, and you like I don't get it. But so I didn't the way you hit that character. I don't remember his name.
Trevathan or something.
Whatever. So him, like whatever, like I hated it. I didn't like it. I don't know how you felt about it, but I hated it.
I mean, obviously I didn't really care because I fell asleep.
Well,
I
right,
don't know if I
obviously
was tired. I see. The thing is, I didn't know if I was tired or if I was just bored.
bored. Well, there were long parts where it was boring. Like that's what we talked about before. There were long swaths of this movie where I was bored. Um, so then we have of course, we have the silverback guy that's in charge because you always got to have a silverback guy that's in charge of the army. And then they get there, and Noah hooks back up with his mom, and uh, the rest of the Eagle Clan and whatever, and for some reason he feels like he's got to go talk to her, so he climbs up and they have a chat. All the while, all right. So Proximus's whole deal is he's built this fucking stronghold in it looked like in an old rusty fucking tanker ship, right?
Yeah,
And on the land because he wants to get into like a fucking storage facility that's in a mountain. A human storage facility that's in a mountain
that sounds about right. Yeah.
because he wants the technology in there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's basically beating apes to death, working them to death, trying to get in there because all the guns are gone and he wants the guns. Is that basically right? Is that?
That sounds about right. That sounds about
The
right.
technology, but it's the guns. He wants the guns.
So
Like
what was the plan behind the dam? Was the dam supposed to seal it up or something so nobody can get
well,
in or
I first
something?
of all, why would you build that there? If you're a human race, why would you build a dam like a facility that's going to be overtaken by water every time high tide comes out?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
good
so
point.
why is that built there? So Proximus built the dam so they would have access to it, so they could try and break into it, right?
Hmm.
I think so. So his whole mission in the movie is he knows he wants the monkey the apes to evolve because they've de-evolved from Caesar's time because they're worse off than they were when Caesar. So generations prior, when Caesar was in charge, they're worse off from there. So generations have passed and they've gone backwards. So he doesn't. Of course, he doesn't acknowledge that, but that's what the movie is telling us, because Proximus wants to get in there so he can give the apes an evolutionary leap forward, right?
That sounds about right.
And
So
for some reason, so I guess because it happens to be another talking, because he thinks Noah can figure it out because he fixed one of the lightning staffs, and he for some reason thinks May can because she just happens to be another talking human.
yeah,
That about right?
that sounds about right.
Oh God,
It
like
I forget. So I remember May was looking for something. Why was she important too? Was it because she knew
so
something
so
about
so
that? Knew something about that facility?
so apparently you're supposed. So this is also another problem with the whole thing. Apparently she's looking for this place. So like apparently she's looking for this stronghold so she can get in to get something. We don't know what it is at the time. Okay.
Yeah,
I still don't even really know what it is, but we'll get there in a second. So, but then she says some bullshit like, "You're the only one I could trust," to Noah. Why? Why can she trust Noah? Like why? Like I don't understand. Like where this all like she's been following him around and all this stuff before they got chummy chummy because she felt like she could trust him. Why? Just sneak in there. I don't understand. Like I don't understand her whole plan. She's got and then she's got this map back to her, I guess, her home, and Proximus has wiped it out. Right? That's what he
yeah,
said. Right? He wiped out her whole clan or her
yeah,
whole group of humans, so they're all gone. But apparently, she's out alone on this mission to get into this facility to get something that she referred to as a book to Noah.
yeah.
Okay, so if you knew where the beast was the whole time, why did you end up by Noah's Eagle Clan? Why were you up there? Because she said she knew where they were going. She knew where it was. So why did you end up with
Because I
Noah?
mean, Noah has nothing to do with this. Noah
Right,
has.
he has
I
nothing to do
mean,
with it. So why did she run? Was it all to run away from them because she was discovered? She ran all the way up there to get away from them. I don't understand.
because it seems like earlier in the movie they were hunting her. So
Well, and all she,
Noah's horse. Noah accidentally encountered them, and Noah hid, but they discovered the horse, and the horse is what led them to Noah's thing. But it
well,
seemed
not
like
re-
they were out
just
there. It seems like they were patrolling,
they were looking for
looking
her.
for her in earlier. So
Yeah, they were looking for her. So no, so it's not. They would have found like Noah takes it as it's his fault, but it's actually her fault because she led them there.
yeah,
They're tracking her.
hmm
So the fact that yeah, his horse being there didn't help, but they would eventually, she
they would
was
have
in
found them.
she was in their camp eating their food anyways. So they would have found her. They would have tracked her there because she was there getting food. She was there stealing food.
Yeah,
So it wasn't his. They would have found them anyways and done exactly what they did anyways. So that's her fault.
hmm
But like I don't understand why she's run all the way up here and now she's ready to go all the way back down because she has one ape that she can talk to. So she now has one ape on her side, so now she's ready to go back and break into this facility.
yeah. Like, why was she even following him? Like, if he was walking towards her enemy, I mean, like, if she was trying to self preserve, why would she follow him? Like, he's not going to
Well,
protect
you're
her.
supposed to make think because she's hungry and cold, but that doesn't. Why is she hungry and cold? She's obviously intelligent.
Yeah, she could probably hunt. She could probably
Yeah,
try to
she's
survive.
obviously intelligent. It's just it doesn't work because you're supposed to initially think she can't talk and she's like stupid like the other guys,
Yeah.
and then when she talks, it's like, well, why the hell did she need them for food and fire?
How did you react when? How did you react when you heard her talk and all that? This was me. It
Yeah,
was like the Picard face palm
yeah.
right here.
No, like what would have been great if she jumped up and said Noah, and he's like, and then turned the fuck around.
Yeah.
What makes her think he's gonna come? Because I guess because he's looking for her. She's willing to risk it all on this one ape that she's hung out with and had a bunch of apples with. That's not how the world works. Like you don't instantly like, especially with somebody that you up until then has been. She does nothing but lie to Noah, and Noah does nothing but give but fall for it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it seems like the guy that wrote this, Josh Friedman, wrote he wrote Terminator Dark. He wrote the story for
Oh,
Terminator Dark
well,
Fate,
there you go. The
and
story's terrible. Like
yeah,
you should have just stayed with the Eagle Clan, and I would have been okay. And
yeah,
had some weird shit because it's the story is nonsensical. Because look, we haven't even got to the worst part of this whole fucking movie, in my opinion, yet.
really,
The ending is the worst part by far, because so Noah goes up and they have their little talk, and she goes, Proximus can never have this, blah 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 blah. So she convinces him to do this plan. And the funny thing is Proximus actually says something, and I turn to my daughter and is like, Proximus is actually right. I'm sort of on his side right now, which is you can never trust the humans. They will never live in a world with us. They'll eradicate us whenever the fuck they can. And she proves that outright, like 3 or 4 different times throughout the movie. That
so
that Proximus is absolutely 100% right. The humans will not coexist with the apes. They won't even try. They just want to eradicate them.
all right. So what were the four reasons that you're thinking?
Well, okay, so you have the so she basically uh let's see. The first one is what happens at the end of the escape, which she gives them all up and doesn't care. She's just more concerned with the stuff in the tunnel than she is keeping her word to Noah, and blows them up. Second is at the end of the movie, she tracks down Noah specifically to see if she has to kill him. The end of the movie, she tracks him down just to see if if he's gonna follow her and hunt her down to kill her.
And this
Because
is
she's there
after
with
this, and this is after
this
the
is
whole
after this is
Proximus
after
is
this is after the whole thing
okay.
is she literally comes back to where Eagle Clan comes, where Noah is trying to rebuild everything for his family, and she shows up with the fucking gun behind her back, ready to kill him.
Oh yeah, that's right. What
And
was
the
that?
only
What
reason
was that?
because she thought she was because she's a piece of shit. She came all the way back for no reason other than to kill Noah, and Noah said basically, I fucking pity you. Can you fuck off? I don't give a crap what you do. So she left him. And it's like, you are a piece of shit. It's like, just go off and do what the hell you need to do. She came there to kill him, and he convinced her that she didn't need to.
I forgot about that. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
she doesn't give a crap what happens to any of them.
No.
She gives no craps. So Proximus is right.
Yeah.
He's absolutely correct that you can't trust the humans. They will kill us whenever they get the opportunity. We cannot share this world with them. He was right.
Yeah.
Now he's the way he whatever he's doing is completely wrong. You know, he's killing apes, which like I still don't understand why he's killing apes when he has a whole netted up army of humans that he keeps capturing that he could use as labor. But instead he's chosen to kill apes and use slave ape labor
Yeah.
for some reason. And then you have the whole bullshit plan. The whole bullshit plan at the end of the movie, because you're basically the whole movie when we get to the end of the second the basically to the conclusion of the movie, Proximus is trying to get into this weapon stronghold, or this it's like a doomsday shelter thing,
Yeah.
right? That's supposed to house humans through doomsday, yada 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 yada, right? But it's going to have technology and weapons and all kinds of stuff. And Proximus has been trying to get in there. He's killing apes left and right. They're trying to get in there at any cost. He said he'll kill as many apes as possible to get in there, which still doesn't make any sense to me, but fine. He says it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, May knows exactly how to get in there, right? She knows
Yeah.
exactly how to get in there. Now, my first problem is this, okay? This facility is built into a mountain, right?
Yeah.
Right? They have to climb a cliff's edge to get in there, right? You know how mountains work, right? They go like this.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you climb up the other side and bypass the whole ape sanctuary?
I agree.
Just come from the other direction. You don't have to. She could have just walked in there herself, got what she needed to do, and left.
Yeah, and saved us a
Saved us
couple
the movie.
hours.
Saved us the movie, right? It's a mountain. There's other sides to approach
Yeah.
from. So the whole plan is they can't get in the front door because it's hugely locked with these huge ass things. There's when you see the inside, her being freaking concerned at all that Proximus is going to get in there is bullshit. He is never getting in there with the locks on this door and the steel
Yeah.
locks. He
Never. Nope.
never ever getting in there ever. And it's been long enough that if he was going to lurk for another way to get in there, he would have found it by now. So he's not going to look for another way in. Yet she knows she knows exactly where this air vent is. She hatches up this plan with Noah to blow up the dam to flood the mountain. The mountain. It's a mountain. It goes up. So they come up with this plan. It goes up. They come up with this plan to break the bridge that's holding off the ocean at a certain sea level and flood the mountain after they've climbed up a fucking sheer rock cliff to go in an air vent, which I don't believe for a second. When you have a door that is that heavily locked, you're not just going to have some air vents sitting there like that you can just walk into.
No, I mean, there's a point. It's supposed to be secured for a reason.
Your door is that secure, and you wasted all your money because, oh, wow, look at the air vent is broken. We can just walk in the air vent. It's all good. We can bypass the whole locked door. Don't worry about it. But it's even worse, dude, because she's there. She knows how to work everything.
Yeah.
Like, this is generations later where there's like, how does she know what electricity is, let alone how to use it?
She must have read a lot of books. She must have found the schematic.
So she knows exactly
she's just really good. She's just that good.
Right. And it's crazy. And she's just like, oh, I know. Oh, back. Oh, no. And and then again, she finds some guns. She doesn't pick up a gun. She only picks up a fucking 6-shooter. There were assault rifles, dude. Why did she grab the 6-shooter?
Maybe she thought maybe she wanted to be a cowboy. Oh, I don't know.
But then she goes and grabs this thing that I thought was a hard drive. Right?
Yeah, she called it a book.
She called it a book, so I thought it was a hard drive. Meanwhile, the idiot apes are in the kids daycare reading books going, oh wow, these symbols, they mean something. It's like, several generations earlier apes could read, but apparently they didn't think it was important to teach anybody. So I'm hoping there's another part of the world where there's like the good apes that actually learn stuff and like they're actually like building cities and stuff. Like ape cities, right? Like that's my headcanon. Is like this is like the like other side of the planet where all the idiot apes ended up, and on the other side is where like the real Caesar's descendants are, and they're smart and they've evolved.
Maybe they spread throughout the United States. I mean, I don't know. I forget if they're still in this. This is LA. So the Caesar stuff was in the San Francisco area,
right? So this one took place in LA.
Yeah, because the Raqqa where they encountered Raqqa was LA, basically the remains of LAX airport.
I didn't even see that. Okay.
Yeah.
So there goes that. I guess the smart apes aren't out there. We're just got to deal with the idiots that didn't think to learn how to read.
There was one thing that really annoyed me, like why it was you have William H. Macy like saying, hey, I'm going to tell Proximus that you guys are up to no good, and then she just straight up murders him.
Well, because she murders him because she's afraid they're gonna give him up, but I mean she could have just knocked him out or tied him up. or something.
Yeah, but no, well, why would William H. Macy, like, if he
Why is he
sees
out
them, why
there?
is he out there
The guy
talking to
can't
them?
walk.
Hey, hey,
It's
hey,
like what he saw them out the window.
hey,
And is like, oh,
you young pups,
whippersnappers.
you
Like he
whippersnappers, what
says
are you doing? Well, I'm
he's.
gonna go tell Proximus,
I mean, he
and
says himself he
she just straight up murders him. I'm
murders
like,
him,
whoa,
and
bro. I'm like,
and then the apes help throw him in the ocean. And it's just like, okay, I guess
I
that's
guess they're
done.
all bad now. Noah and all of them, they're I guess they're not.
Well, it's
They're
like I don't.
accessory to murder.
It's like, but it's just like, it's like, how did he get down there? Why is he down there? Why isn't he support? Like he's that institutionalized with the apes, and he's treated well enough that like. And by the way, I find it very ironic. Okay, I know that he's giving them stuff, but I find it very ironic is that the only human we see in Proximus's camp at the time when we get there, the only human is being treated like 100 times better than every other ape in the facility. He's got all these books. He's got running water. He's making tea. He's got food. And it's like,
Yeah.
I understand, like, he's teaching him books and stuff like that. But he is treating this freaking, the human is an honored guest.
Yeah.
While he's treating his own kind like shit. And it's like, hail, go Caesar. That's exactly what Caesar wanted. It's like, how is that? How have you misinterpreted what Caesar said meant that badly? Like, what the hell? Like, you have to be joking.
It's like, it's just like, maybe. Well, what's funny is there's a lot of humans that are like that. So maybe there was their way of saying these apes are more like humans than.
I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Because
the apes are
like,
just a different breed of human, not better than humans. They're just you
because
give them the world, they're going to do the same thing that humans do. I guess is the moral to the story. I guess
because I think that was one of the things that Caesar says. I forget whether it's at Dawn or in War. That he says we're no different. Oh, it was Dawn. It was Dawn because of Koba.
Yeah.
Because they kept teaching ape shall not kill ape, and then you have the Koba here, murders an ape, and then tries to kill Caesar and take power because of his because of the darkness in him. He's like, we're no different at the end of Dawn. So I don't know if that was meant to be thematic. I know I'm giving this movie too much credit right now for that, but
well, apparently Caesar's the only one that learned anything. Everybody else is just.
I was just like, I'm watching this. I'm like, this does not live up to the character Caesar or any of those movies.
It didn't advance the story.
No.
Well,
it seems like they're trying, because of the Fox and Disney acquisition. I think they're trying to further make this into a franchise. So they decided, there's going to be several sects of apes now. So one movie's going to cover one sect of apes. Another movie's going to cover another. So it's going to be. It's not going to be like a trilogy or anything.
Well,
like
I didn't even get to one of the biggest problems I have with the whole thing. Like I have lots of problems with this because it doesn't make a lick of sense. So she gets the hard drive, at least what we assume is a hard drive. By the end of the movie, I don't know.
I think they call it. It's a decipher key.
So bullshit.
Yeah.
First of all, you saw this facility, right? Like, those facilities are built for people to live forever. So if there are people living in bunkers all over the world, how are there not people alive in there?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Right? If there's people that survived through all these generations in these little bunkers all over the place, but there is a bunker that was specifically made to weather this problem, nobody's in it? What the fuck happened? How is this thing empty? How is this empty if there's other humans in other bunkers around the planet?
Yeah, I mean, especially
that it has to be the most equipped facility ever.
Yeah, and it's like, and the thing is, we learn that there are other humans in other bunkers after the fact. So it was just like,
well, that's my problem.
Maybe they were counting on the viewer to forget.
Well, so she gets the decipher key, whatever. Like, what? There's a reason she should know there's one there, or how to get it, or whatever. How does she know any of this shit? Fine. But then instead of going back out the way they came in and blowing it up so nobody can get in there, she decides to open the front door. The door that they're never going to get in, ever.
Yeah.
She just opens it up. And then they blow the bridge and flood the mountain.
Yeah.
And the way they portray it, it's like it's filling up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, people, sea level is a thing. Like sea level is a thing. There is a sea level. And once the water tries to go above sea level, guess what? It washes back out because of sea level.
Yep.
So there would have
gravity.
been maybe 10 foot of flooded floor in that building, and the rest is fully accessible. But they made it look like the whole thing filled up with water. And it's like, that's not how this shit works. That's stupid. No. So in actuality, she's opened the front door. She's given the Proximus access to tanks and guns and human technology and God knows what else is in there. And then that's when she betrays Noah the second time, blowing it up and trying to kill his whole family, like including like his whole clan. She tries to kill, like, she's like, I'm sorry, he can't get it, and she manages to run off far enough to dead it. Like, how did she even get? It's like she ran. Oh, because she had the gun. Is that why? She shot the one guy so nobody would stop her, so she was able to go blow the bridge up, I guess. Fine.
Yeah.
But then so then she comes back all the way back to Eagle Clan with a gun, completely prepared to shoot Noah in the head because she thinks that Noah is going to hunt her down and kill her. And he has to convince her that he's not going to kill her. And then he gives fucking her the goddamn Caesar necklace, which pissed me off. Like, she gives a shit. Like, right at the end, Noah get the necklace that he gave to Noah. She gives it to him. He gives it to her. And it's like, she don't care. She hates you. She's ready to eradicate. As soon as the humans get the upper hold again, she's going to be on the front line with guns shooting all you.
Yeah, I agree.
And then that's how we ended the movie. Is we go? She somehow makes it to another human bunker that hasn't been eradicated. How does she know it's there? Is it the one that was Proximus mistaken and she didn't wipe them all out? Was it a different one? How did she know it was there?
Like, I thought they were her people at first because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention, so
right,
I don't know.
Proximus said he wiped out her whole fucking clan. So was he wrong, or did he really wipe them all out?
Or he was probably wrong then. He probably thought he did, because that's what.
But then the girl comes walking up the tunnel in full fucking quarantine gear. So you just confirmed the virus is still a problem, because the girl from the tunnel didn't want to come outside without having protection from the environment. So the virus is still an issue. So how is May okay? How is fucking Trevelio whatever okay? They're living with apes.
They didn't. I don't think they ever addressed that.
Right, and then I don't even know if it worked, but apparently they're at a satellite relay station, and that's the whole reason she went wherever she went, was to get the hard drive to plug it into the satellite relay station so they could talk to people in Indiana.
Yeah,
and it's like, what? What are you talking about? Just put up a dude. They in Stranger Things they build a radio tower on a hill. It can communicate halfway across the country. They don't need a dongle to do that. You need a radio tower.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what the fuck? Plus, you're telling me these satellites, which are now generations old, and in the real world take constant maintenance.
Yes,
they just work. They're all fucking broken, and they work just fine. It's like, stop it. But that's what they're setting up. They're setting up War of the Planet of the Apes 2.
So yeah,
Because the humans
there's
are the human. This is supposed to be the humans are have a shred of hope. So they're going to come back from the brink and fight the apes again.
that's what I'm hoping they don't do.
That's what they're doing. That's what they got. That's what, of course that's what they're doing. Because
Like,
otherwise, why like
I mean, like in this case, I mean, the apes are supposed to be the good guys. I mean,
the
humanity
apes are the good guys?
humanity, yeah. I mean, humanity is supposed to be, we're the ones that destroyed ourselves. So, I
Yes,
mean, that was the point of the original film.
they even said that at the beginning of the film. The beginning
Yeah,
of this film said the humanity destroyed themselves, and they did.
yeah. So
So
I mean,
why? So how are there bunkers of humans all over the place? How are they surviving? But they didn't have the balls to let the humans be slaves and have the human race be pretty much on the brink of extinction.
yeah, they didn't have the balls for slaves because of, well, as certain people would say current day.
I guess that has to be what it is.
Yeah,
But like it made the film nonsense. Like after we get past the bridge, like we lose. What's this? I want to call him Kuba, but that's wrong. But the what's his name? The orangutan guy.
Raka.
Raka. We lose Raka, who saves the girl, who basically betrays everybody that she comes in contact. Everybody she comes in contact with, even William H Macy, she betrayed.
Yeah, the when Raka gets washed away for good,
Yeah,
that's where my interest kind of
yeah. Apes
died.
together are strong, he said, and then we do nothing that resembles those words at all.
Yeah.
Like even Noah does it. Noah saves his own clan and says, fuck the rest of you."
Hmm.
Like he didn't even try. He didn't even try to take over. Like there was none of that. He just said, "Screw the rest of them. Our clan is strong together. Fuck the rest of you."
Yeah, and they just go back and they rebuild, and that's
And they
it.
go back and they rebuild their little tiny camp. It's like, oh, we're gonna rebuild it better. It's like, great, your bird sanctuary is gonna be better. I'm sure Caesar will be happy.
Yeah, it was like there was a lot of missed opportunities here.
Oh, tons.
And like this, here's the thing, and I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes audience scores. There's like
Ooh,
180 right
why?
now.
You want to share it?
Everybody's
Yeah,
I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of positive reviews, but a lot of people are saying there's a lot of the ending is confusing. Everybody's complaining about the ending.
the ending's not even confusing. It's stupid. The ending sucks because it's not even confusing. I know exactly what they're doing, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful movie. The CGI was freaking crazy good.
So like here, I noticed this right here: audio and visual callbacks. Remember the scarecrows
Yeah,
from the original film? You got that, and then the audio, like I said, when they catch the humans. So I mean, that's fine, but that's not good enough for a good movie. It's just I wouldn't give it a 4 out of 5 for just that. But yeah, a lot of people are just saying it doesn't live up to, like this person right here is saying it doesn't live up to the other the characters in the earlier movies, and I agree.
it doesn't. No. It's again. I would have been fine if like I don't know. Like I wish we stayed with the Bird Clan people.
Yeah, because I liked all that. I liked all that. I liked
I
the
liked all the
building
buildup. Yeah.
building the characters, building our, like I said earlier, building our investment, building some stakes
All the
when there is
buildup.
danger. Yeah,
All the buildup at the beginning was pretty good. It was still a little slow, but they were building to. It was like they were building to something, and then like as soon as you start you introduce the human characters, the plot and the story just starts going fucking straight off a cliff. It
yeah.
goes straight off a cliff.
So it seems like someone here, Tim C, kind of feels the same way you do. He's like, as I was raised on the classic Planet of the Apes movies, I was not particularly fond of the storyline of this movie.
Yeah,
So,
the storyline is garbage.
yeah.
I mean, it's garbage. Like there's so many, like it's like, okay, let's say that Proximus was wrong. He didn't wipe out her whole group. Fine.
All right.
Because I guess he doesn't know how to use doors. right? Proximus
Yeah.
and his apes, they don't know how to open doors to go into basements. So Proximus didn't wipe out her whole clan. Okay, so get this straight. We've now this is they have sent her, May, out on her own apparently to go find this MacGuffin to start the satellite array so they can communicate. I'm assuming it's supposed to be worldwide communications to plan a counteroffensive or to plan the survival, whatever. So
Yeah.
they've sent her out by herself to get this thing. How do they know that this thing exists? Number one. Two, how do they know it's there? Three, why aren't they, if they can get in there and live in that place that's much better off, why aren't they living in there? Four, why do you need to have a satellite array that you could talk to outer space with to communicate across the country when you can just have a simple radio tower? Five, why did you send her by herself? Six, how does she know how all that stuff works inside there? Because there's stuff similar to it in the bunker. How does that stuff in the bunker work? How are you maintaining it? How are you feeding yourself?
Lots of
How have the apes
questions.
not found you? How do you not have the virus?
That's
Because
the biggest one.
well, the problem is the problem with her coming upstairs in a full body suit, a full contamination suit, just reinforces that the virus is still out there.
Yeah.
So if she came up without it, it's like, okay, well, maybe you can go think, okay, well, maybe the virus has run its course and all the humans that are born now are immune, or it's we have, right, there's been enough generations past. The humans that are born these days are now born immune, so we don't have to deal with the virus problem anymore. But she didn't come out without a suit. She came out with the freaking hazmat suit on because she was afraid of getting the virus. So how do you
Yeah.
explain how May and John C. Reilly aren't fucking stupid?
John C. Reilly.
Whatever the fuck, what I forget, whatever his fucking, whatever the
William H. Macy. Yeah.
William H. Macy. I
Yeah.
said John
Yeah.
C.
But
Reilly, the wrong guy. It probably would have been better if it was John C. Reilly. My bad. William H. Macy. Sorry.
Dr. Steve Brule. Yeah. That John C. Reilly. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. Like, why the hell are they okay when they're especially around apes?
The human race was doomed.
Yes.
Doomed by the end of War of the Planet Apes. The apes were starting to thrive. More and more were starting to talk and become smarter, learning to read, learning to use machine guns, using tools, just learning, growing, getting better. So they've all regressed. The humans are still alive, and now the humans are in a good position to strike back because the apes couldn't get their shit together.
So yeah, so that's kind of why I highlighted this. I highlighted this comment right here.
Oh, okay.
So
go ahead, read it.
Titus, he still gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Great animation, pictures. Agreed.
Which is what I said. People are going to be blinded by that. Sorry, go ahead.
So watch this for the sake of the picture. Didn't expect so much of the story. Apes lack of development. Hundreds of years have passed, but are still using sticks. New main character Noah lacks purpose. Human character Maya lacks purpose. Lack of guns. No way apes didn't find any. There's a flood scene. The water level shouldn't reach that high. So human base camp, too high tech with these kind of tech. No way they didn't begin to advance. Maya finds rifles, but only takes a handgun. Hello. Eagle bonding.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then eagle bonding, Eagle Village without using when under attack. Too much screen time with no clear objection at the end.
Yeah, why did the Eagles attack when they got attacked? Like,
yeah,
you just showed we
didn't even think of that. Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. That's a great point. At the end of the movie, Proximus gets killed by the Eagles. Where were all the fucking Eagles when they were attacking them in the town?
Were they all caged? I don't think
they let them all loose. Up. No one went up there and like that. You're telling me that they just left they just left them?
Like what was the purpose of the Eagles? Like were the Eagles supposed to be like their companions that did stuff with them? Like I'm not even sure what their purpose was.
It's supposed to be they have a symbiotic, like where they use them as tools to hunt and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is a cool idea.
Yeah,
but when you do that and and then you show them at the end of the movie attacking an ape because they're singing to them or whatever. Why didn't they start singing
Yeah.
when they got attacked and put up a fight? They just got caught, and then the Eagles didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Titus
So
H is a Chad. His name is, it's not me, but he is Titus H. You are the man. That is basically exactly what I was saying about this whole movie. It's just just okay and void of emotion. 3 stars. What the fuck? That's the stuff that sums up Rotten Tomatoes right there.
yeah.
How is that a 3? Just okay and lack of emotion.
Well, I thought
I
there
guess
was
just
there was some emotion in the beginning, but like you said, there's a lot of problems. Even with the
there's a
beginning, there's
ton,
too many problems.
too many problems.
But yeah, there's a lot.
Very,
I mean,
very beautiful, very beautiful.
yeah,
But
yeah, people
people,
really want to like things, so they like them.
well, they want, well,
Regardless.
and I truly believe that with how gorgeous this movie was, it's going to overwhelm a lot of people's better sensibilities about the story.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, it was the story. Yeah, the story was, but man, it was a good looking movie, wasn't it?
Why can't you just enjoy things? Like seriously, why can't you just
Dude,
enjoy things?
I enjoyed most of it.
I'm
No, I know,
I'm
no, I know,
playing, I'm
you're joking.
pretending I'm one of these jerks.
No,
That
I
were
know,
like,
but
why can't you
it's
let
just,
us enjoy stuff?
I wanted to enjoy it. I took my kids.
Yeah,
Like I said,
that's why we went to see it. We didn't see it to want to to dismantle it like that. We wanted to. We were interested. We really enjoyed the Caesar trilogy, and I don't know about you, but I like the earlier films, even the sequels to the original, which were terrible, very terrible. But I still watch them because I still enjoy them, even though they're terrible.
I
And
loved it.
they make no sense
I
whatsoever.
love it. I thought it started slow, but its strong finish. It was wild, right? Just watching the apes and the gorillas, who astonishing. I was just looking forward to it, and I was not disappointed. Like completely vapid review.
Yeah.
And that to me is like just watching the apes and the gorilla was fascinating. It's like, yeah, so it looked great, so good movie.
Yeah, so I don't know. So so it's all positive. It's basically mostly positive.
There is a lot of storytelling that they failed to do, and you have to fill in a lot of the blanks with why things are the way they are, because a lot of it is nonsensical. And the worst part is the worst part is the last half hour when they're assaulting the bunker.
Yeah.
Because she basically lets him into the things she wants and then floods it with a foot of water, and we're supposed to think that takes care of it.
Okay, here's one I want to read right here.
Let's flood them with the water. The freaking 50-foot mountain will fill up with water, right? No,
yeah. So
idiot.
So here's Tony A, 1 star out of 5. He says, I really wanted this movie to be great. Instead, I exited the theater feeling stunned how terribly directed this movie was. So many disconnected ideas. The demeanor between characters is off. The ocean filling the bunker scene, where apparently a 20-foot high water line can travel up the bunker corridor like 100 feet, makes zero sense. So many details were off. It is a sad day for Planet of the Apes fans.
Well, and also the worst part about that whole thing is you could have just been smarter, and like what you do. Okay, here's an example, right? This is what you do. You have them go in, right? You have Meg even come out and threaten. Like they go in the air pipe, they come out the air pipe, right?
Yeah.
And that's when she goes, "Fuck you, I'm taking off." And Noah's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? My whole clan's still out there. You're supposed like, what are you talking about, right?" And then they blow the air pipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they can't get in there. She's like, "I'm going, fuck you," right? That's perfectly within their character. That's when he starts doing the eagle singing stuff, and you see the eagles start swirling around him or something. Yeah. And then the 3 of them go back down and free all the apes.
Yeah.
And take care of Proximo.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's on top, fucking going, apes together, fucking strong. And he starts teaching everybody else how to be fucking eagle menders or whatever. Or you see all the apes going back to their clans. And them going back,
and
right?
He becomes the new leader, and then Noah becomes the new leader, like, and he
That's better than what we got. Just in, like, come on, like, and I don't even really like the fucking like but at least the Eagles get involved.
Yeah.
You know, or you see him come back down with the Eagles come with him, and then all the slave apes rise up and start fighting against the other guys.
Yeah. Yeah, like didn't he have like an army? Like I thought he had like an army or something.
Who did?
Was the
Proximus?
Proximus? Like,
Yes.
he had that one. He had that one general dude who drowned, so he's dead. But weren't there like a lot of other people that served him? So what
He
happened to
had a
them?
whole bunch. Well, he shot
Like why
the
was
other
he
guy.
why was he by himself with the
Yeah, the crazy,
with
the crazy guy, the other guy, he got shot. So
yeah.
the rest of them are just they didn't download the instructions, so they couldn't fight for him because the two main bad ape guys got killed. So there was no one there to help give instructions. I guess I don't know. You're right. He had a whole army of apes. He had a whole army of apes enough that he subdued every other clan of ape that he came into contact with. And we're supposed to think it's because he has a bunch of poles with electricity on them. Because he's got a bunch of tasers, he was able to cull a whole bunch of other clans of apes.
Yeah.
Because he's got freaking cattle prods. It's like, I don't believe you.
So here's another thing I think is worth reading. Another audience review, and this is
Is
somehow
that a 4
3.5.
star?
This is
3.5
3.5 out of 5 stars, but left the movie feeling a bit underwhelmed. That was me. First half was pretty good, but somewhere along the lines, it lost its touch for me. Yep, same here.
Yep,
I think it was more of a setup movie, similar to how Rise of the Planet of the Apes was. It was a terrible setup movie. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was way better.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes was the first, right?
Yeah, that was the one with James Franco.
That's arguably the best movie out of the trilogy.
You think so?
I don't know. I think so. I maybe. I haven't seen him in a while, but I know I enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed the hell out of it.
So I know, like a lot of people would say, Dawn is. I don't know. I thought I really enjoyed War. I really enjoyed War because of just it was basically so much payoff. It was just like the stakes were never high and haven't been higher, but. Dawn is so good too.
I would have to watch them all again. I think part of the reason I say that is Rise is the one that's stuck in my brain the most, so I remember it the most probably. But I'd have to watch them all again.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So overall, it was worth a watch, but lower your expectations and don't expect it to leave you as thrilled as any of the first 3 movies did. And this, I think, is a fair one.
Oh, it's absolutely fair. I think that's fair. I think he gave the wrong rating. I don't know why that equals 3.5 stars.
I think for a rating like this, it should have been like 2 out of 5, 2 stars.
Maybe 2.5 because he said he liked the first half.
I mean, 2.5. Yeah, makes perfect sense. So,
I don't know. I don't know, man. So, but yeah, dude. So, I don't know. Mediocre at best. I think as your thing says mid. I don't even know. I think the more I talk about it, the worse it gets. I really do because it's just they just. I don't know. The more there's just so many things wrong with it that it's just they keep popping up. It's another one of those things you just talk about and then it's like, wait, what about this thing? Why did that happen?
Yeah.
Right? Or how did that happen? Or why are they like this? I don't understand. Right? So the more and more we talk about it, the more and more I talked about it with my daughter yesterday, the worse it kept getting, and it's just like.
Yeah, and that's a problem. I mean, like like these questions should have been addressed in with the writer, whoever was writing, and the writer and the director and the producer. Like they're supposed to be the ones addressing these things. They're supposed to be the ones asking themselves these questions. Why is it? Why are we have to be the ones asking these questions? Like this is stupid. This is unacceptable.
Yes.
I mean, this is like people are not stupid. I mean, Hollywood, if you're somehow listening to this, take note of, ask yourself questions when you're writing, scenarios. Like, do they make sense? Like, does it make sense in the context of what's happening? I mean,
yeah, and don't forget things you've done, and then when you have the audience go, well, why did this happen, and it didn't pay off anywhere. I think I think we're not stupid. I think you're right. This was not good enough. It was not good enough. It is a complete letdown to the previous 3 movies. it's a step backwards for the franchise. It's a step backwards for the freaking apes in the movies. Because
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I completely believe that with the technology in that bunker, like that one, like that I think it was Titus's review on Rotten Tomatoes, with the technology they had in that bunker, I
yeah,
completely believe they have automatic weapons down there, and that they have vehicles stashed somewhere in there. And in this world, if they have those two things, there is no reason they should not be eradicating swaths of apes and taking back land,
yeah,
because the apes don't have anything. They
yeah.
have nothing.
They have sticks. They still have
Like
sticks.
they could post them, like they could literally walk up there if they don't have if they don't have cars or horses, walk up there with their machine guns on the ridge and mow down all of those most of those apes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Right? I mean, and with the technology in that bunker, I completely believe they have some sort of projectile weapons in there.
Yeah,
I
I
don't even think
agree.
the apes had bows.
Yeah, I don't. We didn't even see
They
what
didn't have
their.
slings or bows,
We
or
didn't see what they were. What were they capable of?
they didn't have any weapon. They just had the pokey things. Like there were no
And
bows, there
the
were no
electric
slings.
poking
Like
things,
slings are the
and
simplest.
and that's for the humans.
Like
That's it.
the Eagle Clan, they didn't like they just used the birds to hunt. They didn't have bows or slings or like
Hmm.
any hunter gatherer tools. They didn't have
Nope.
anything.
Nope. So
So they just de-evolved. It's crazy.
yeah, and it's just like you're just like you're building up everything in Caesar's trilogy. You get you get the great conclusion of that, and you're thinking, oh, things are going to get better, or things are going to progress in a logical way, and then you get this. So
Yep.
it was. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put this at like sequel. I don't even want to call it sequel. Whatever Disney came up with for Star Wars,
I
like
don't know what
just
this is. Like the only good thing is there's clear separation between this and the Caesar trilogy.
yeah. I mean, you had Caesar trilogy. You had Matt Reeves worked on. He worked on the last two. I don't know who wrote. I don't know if he wrote them as well.
I'm just saying story wise. Yeah,
Yeah.
this doesn't hurt the first three movies. It
No, it's too
it's a little sad that they squandered everything Caesar gave to Ape Kind, but
yeah. That's how I feel too.
I mean it's sad that the apes just screwed it up. I mean, how many a few generations and the apes can't get it together, huh? Oh well, I guess.
That
If they,
sounds like that sounds like typical storytelling.
I mean, a few generations.
Modern storytelling now.
I mean, the few generations the apes can't get it together, and the humans are back in a better position than the apes are. That is the moral to this. That's where we're at the end of this movie. Is the apes are in a worse place than the humans are again already.
Yeah, they should have. Like I don't know why, but they should have brought back Mark Bomback, who wrote Dawn and War for the Planet of the Apes. But then again, he worked directly with Matt Reeves, so I don't
How?
know.
Okay, sorry. And before we go, do we completely forget the fact the movie does? I didn't when I was watching it. Do we completely forget the fact that she destroyed his egg?
Yeah, she not. I think what she bumped into him or something, or
Bumped
she
into him.
attacked him, pushed him.
She bumped into him, broke his egg, and caused all of this shit. And he knows it. And
Yeah,
he completely does he either doesn't register that or just completely ignores it and is okay with her, even though she has caused all of this shit.
yeah.
And he knows it.
Because of the fact that she broke his egg, he had to go get
Yep.
another one, and that's I think where he encounters or his
Yep.
horse encounters.
100%.
Yeah,
Yep. He has to go back out because of her.
you know what's funny was when I was watching it, the question I had was why the hell was he carrying that thing? Like you caught that, put it somewhere
Well, it's
safe.
not. I mean, yeah, but they have their special little nest thing. It could be part of it just could be part of the ceremony is they have to hold on to it. Maybe that's why maybe that's the reason they only get it right before it, because it's fragile and they have to hold on to it,
Yeah,
right? Because, but I also wouldn't be fucking around with shit if I knew I had an egg on my chest. But
Yeah, because I mean, you have an egg on your chest. Someone's gonna. What if you knock into somebody, or or you're somehow careless?
I
Don't.
mean, it could be tradition, maybe, but like I don't know. There's weird things there, but what it comes down to is she broke his egg, and that was basically the inciting incident to the rest of the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
So, all her fault. She sucks. Uh, she's
Yeah,
the worst character by far. The movie would have been 20 times better if the humans were not in it. Period.
I agree. Or if they were just like the apes,
Yeah.
or just like the original Apes movie.
Yeah,
Basically.
you have a human that's starting to learn to talk again. You're like, what the fuck? Like, there's a whole like they just took the easy way out. They didn't do anything interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, they took the easy way, like you said, like there was a lot of missed opportunities, and I just think I just once again I hate to use these buzzwords, but I think it's just a symptom of just the modern day work culture in Hollywood, the writing and all
Yeah,
that.
I think you're right. No,
So
I agree. Yeah, I just it sucks because I think this movie had a lot of potential.
yeah,
And
I did too. I mean, it started off, it looked good. Like I like the very beginning of it was
I
like
was into it.
was right after the end of war. We see the funeral of
It's
Caesar.
Caesar.
So I thought there was going to be I thought Caesar's presence was going to be all over this movie, and it
Nope.
really wasn't. It really wasn't. It was disappointing.
They sort of tried to do it badly. We had the Caesar's words being basically apes are too stupid to understand what Caesar said is basically what this movie says.
Yeah, that should not be the thing.
Nope.
That should
They
not
should
be the thing at all. So
it should be leading them to a place of prosperity. I would have much rather seen a prosperous kingdom of apes uh, under Caesar's laws and teachings than this movie.
yeah, and maybe there was some, bad behavior. Maybe there was a little bit of
Maybe
intrigue
you
going on
you have
while
a
they're
you have,
maybe they're at war with another
maybe or
rival
you
clan
have
or
a
something
no here
that
you have
completely rejects Caesar's stuff, and that's why they're divided.
or wild apes that didn't
Yeah,
devolve or something, right?
yeah, maybe a whole bunch of gorillas or something.
Or
I mean,
right, or freaking you have a human that's starting to learn to talk, and one of the apes wants to teach him, and he starts teaching him, and he starts getting smart really fast,
yeah,
and then the human starts teaching the other humans, and they start to learn really fast, and that's how they overcome it, and then all of a sudden there's a faction. That's almost like the original. You have the
yeah, like
factions that say don't teach the humans. They'll just freaking rise up and kill us again. And then you have the other ones say we need to treat them better than they treated us, or something like that, right?
yeah, the whole
Like,
idea, like like bringing up that there's a scene where Zaius is questioning Taylor, and he's like, "Where are your other kind? Where are if there's a nest of them out there? I know there is." And Taylor's like, I'm not from any nest." That would have been interesting had they did something like that. They took that
something.
idea from there and used it in this new movie, and yeah, like and then they're
the way to overcome it is being taught again to think, and you can overcome the virus if you're over with time and care or something, or and I don't know. There's a million things you could do.
yeah,
A million.
so I mean,
And it's just generic. Get MacGuffin so we can talk through satellites that shouldn't work.
yeah, and I mean, for as far as I'm concerned, I think this movie's going to be really successful, and I think they're going to be making more of these.
Probably.
So I'm curious. I mean, with them contacting humans, I know you said that you think that it's going to be War for the Planet of the Apes again.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few films. Do you think it's going to be another trilogy, or do you think it's going to be a longer saga?
I think they'll do another. I think it'll be another trilogy, and I think this will.
Do you
be
think
like,
it's going to cover the same characters, or do you think they're just going to retain the girl that's key to everything?
I think she'll be retained.
Because this Noah character is inconsequential.
I think what's going to end up happening is like she'll end up going back to him for help or some shit, and they'll team up or some bullshit.
Yeah. So
Maybe I don't know. See, I don't believe that either because I believe she'd kill Noah in a second. I believe she'd kill all the apes any second she got. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just going to be like the humans are going to be slowly taking back the planet, and it's just going to be, you know, I hope not, but like that's I feel like that's where we are. I feel like that's where we left. I don't. That seems like the natural progression where they left off is, the humans got the communication doohickey that they needed for some reason that they needed, which I still don't think they needed, but for some reason they needed to get it. They got it.
Yes,
So
the
now
movie
they're
made us
communicating
believe. The
and
movie made us.
organizing.
Yeah, the movie made us believe that humans deserve a second chance, based on what she kept espousing. So, I'm curious if like that's all meant to be a misdirect,
Well,
and like you
the
said, that humans still have retained their hatred for apes for apes
well,
cause
she
they blame apes for causing
she
all
did.
this. So,
She did. She's saying I'm not helping. I'm the human not helping apes. I'd wipe out. She said I'd kill all the apes. Like she said it. She's just as bad as they were, however many years ago.
yeah,
So like,
yeah, I
why
agree.
do I like her? Like why do
Exactly.
I like her?
Like, why should we care about her? Why should we like her?
All
Because
she
you
does is
tell
lie
us to?
and
Well, that's not
yeah,
good enough.
yeah. All she does is lie and betray the people that she's supposed to. She's trying to get trust from, and they
Like,
keep
is
trusting her
like,
even though
why
she.
do you? Yeah, like, why do they write her
Yeah.
that way? Like, are they? Is there? What's that supposed to mean?
I'll tell you what. I was really not happy when the movie ended with the humans in a good place.
Yeah,
Proximus is dead, who was right about her and right about the human race. Noah realizes that, actually even says that Proximus was right. I think he
yeah,
does. And we still end with her getting exactly what she wanted accomplished, despite all the havoc she wrecked.
yeah,
And now the humans are in a better place than they were when we started because of MacGuffin.
yeah.
And
I'm not. Yeah,
it
like
sucks.
I'm just like, why is this a thing?
I want
Why
to
is
see
this a
the
thing?
ape planet. I want to see the apes doing well.
Yeah,
Having to
this is
deal with
called
conflict.
Planet. This is part of Planet of the
I
Apes.
want to see the next evolutionary step of the apes, a big old
Yes.
ape tree city, and they're having to deal with some of their own conflicts with an ape kind.
Yeah.
I don't care about the humans should be building that. I don't care about the humans. Get them out of here. I want to see the ape stuff. I'm
Get out.
serious.
Get out.
Get out. Because the minute she shows up, the movie goes to shit.
Yeah. I was just, and then she started talking. I was like, oh no.
Look at my like her freaking collagen filled lips. I can't stand. I don't know. I can't stand that actress for some reason.
She's in The Witcher,
I
right?
know
She
she's
she
Siri.
plays
She's Siri in The
Siri,
Witcher.
right?
Maybe that's why, but I don't know.
Oh well.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, that's all I got
Yeah. All
on
right.
this.
Well, I mean, I guess. Would you suggest watching it before we go?
Would I suggest watching this? I mean, if you want visual eye candy, and if you're gonna go in not thinking about it, you'll enjoy it. But if
Yeah.
you're gonna go in with a critical mind, there's gonna be a lot of questions. You're gonna be scratching your head over and
I
everything.
think.
So,
I think
so
that's
if
extremely fair.
if you're looking for something it's like super high quality, this isn't it. But if you're looking for, once again, eye candy, awesome sequences, and if you just love Planet of the Apes, unconditionally, I'd say go see it. I'd say go see it and make up your mind. A lot of people liked it in Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of normies. So yeah,
I still give no credence to Rotten Tomatoes, but
yeah,
point taken. I think that's fair. If you want to see something that's visually stunning, and you don't care about the story, you'd probably enjoy this. If you care about stories making sense, then you're gonna have problems.
yeah. You're gonna be exactly
And
where
that's
we
it.
are.
Yeah, that's it. If you have a problem with the narrative being weird and incomplete, and you having to fill in the gaps for the writers because they weren't intelligent enough to explain things, and they force you to fill in the gaps where they failed, and then storylines not making sense, and just having to go, well, that couldn't happen, but I'll let it go.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
than
if you're
than the
really
villain.
easily, if you can suspend your disbelief really easily and
Yeah.
just not care about the stuff, then you'll definitely enjoy this. So
Yep, I think that's fair enough. So, all right, my man. Well, thanks for talking about it. I'm sure we're probably gonna take some shit since everybody seems to be liking this movie, I guess. So,
so
but
we're not here. We're
whatever.
not. So just this, if you're still here and you like the movie and you disagree with us, that's fine. We're
Yeah,
not
that's
here. We're not here to shit in your
yeah.
soup. We're just here to present our opinions, and we want things to be better. We don't just want visual eye candy. We want Hollywood to do their jobs and produce something that's coherent, a
I want it
coherent
all.
story.
I want
Yeah,
pretty and a good story. That's what I
yeah,
want. So,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of money going into this. They should be able to do better. But
yep,
once again, we're not here to crap on your soup. If you think our takes are terrible, let us know in the comments.
yep, absolutely. And I'm sorry you're wrong, but it happens. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, my man. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, and yeah, let us know what you thought of the movie if you've seen it, and yeah, if we missed anything, or if you have some answers for the things that we didn't understand, please throw them in the comments so we can understand. Because there's a lot of holes in this movie that I couldn't put together. So, and it seems like we can put together. So, yeah, let us know what you think. And if you go watch it, I hope you enjoy. And if you don't watch it, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right,
Ta
take
ta.
care, everybody.
Bye. Probably what Beverly Hills Cop 4 probably next time. Woohoo!
Yeah,
On your
July. That
channel.
comes
On
out
your
in
channel.
July. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Woohoo! All right. Bye guys.